Banff Show.
Hey, welcome to the Banff Show. I am Sage, the host, and I am here with Alia. And here on the Banff Show, we talk about mental health, what people are up to, and startup projects. It's so cool, and I love doing it. So, Alia, you tell us about your story, because you just told me the story before we hit record. Do you mind telling it again so everyone knows?
Yes.
Yay!
So, hi guys, I'm Allie. I'm 18 years old. I just moved here a month ago. I was born and raised on Vancouver Island in BC, so it's an adjustment being here. I mean, at least I have the mountains. It's similar, but not totally the same.
Do you like the mountains, or?
I do. Yep, 100%. I wasn't really thinking about the rocky vibes when I thought of Banff because I've never been here. I'm like, oh, let's move to Banff, right? So I was expecting flat. So yeah, it's different, but it's really beautiful here. It definitely reminds me of home, so it's not too much of an adjustment. But yeah, to talk about
it.
Yeah, for sure. So to talk about my biking, I started racing when I was 8 years old. My parents introduced me to it. My cousin did it, so they were like, "Yeah, she's been biking since she was 2. Let's throw her on the track, see how she does." And apparently, I was a natural. I was just really good at it. So they bought me all this fancy gear and these bikes, and my dad became this like pro bike mechanic. And
whoa,
yeah, the thing about BMX, the how do I say this? Like, the bikes they only weigh about 10 pounds. They're extremely light, and like my tires are only this thin. It's a dirt track, so the bikes aren't meant for road and gravel, just for strict dirt roads. So my dad had a lot of fun building my bikes, and he built a powder coating oven so he can powder coat my frames and not pay for other people to paint them and all this stuff.
Did he do it all from scratch?
Well, we had to buy the frame, so we'd buy it raw instead of buying it painted, because I was a picky little girl and I wanted a pink sparkly bike. And yeah, my
and
first
your dad made it happen.
Oh, he did. Yeah. So he bought all the best of the best stuff.
What an amazing dad! Like,
yeah,
seriously.
Awesome. When I was little, all of my parts were carbon fiber because they're super light. You want to have the lightest bike possible. And then growing up, you start snapping carbon fiber. So then we had to switch to the aluminum and stuff. But yeah, I started going to nationals like a month into me started racing. I did really well. It really came naturally to me. So I kept going. I raced Vancouver Island challenges, provincial challenges, and nationals. So I did about 10 to 12 nationals a year within Canada and the States. So I've literally been all over America and Canada. So I've done a lot of traveling. Most families go on their, once a year little vacation to Mexico or whatever. That was not the case with us. We were traveling every weekend to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and, like just places you wouldn't really go for a vacation, but that was ours. We went racing, and we went to new restaurants, and we met new friends, and we went to the amusement parks. And so it was a vacation for sure.
That's
and
incredible.
Yeah. And then as I got older, I started wanting to go to world championships. So there's a bunch of girls in my age group that I had to battle for many years. And also when I was 9 years old, I got the title of #1 girl in Canada. So that was just crazy. I wasn't even expecting it. At that age, I didn't know what that meant. Like, now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, holy. But when I was little, like, they called me up to the stage, and I was 9, right? Like, I wasn't even wearing my racing gear, which you're supposed to when you go up there, right? They take your photo and they ask you who you're sponsored by and all this stuff. And oh man, there's a video on YouTube about it. It's so embarrassing. I just had no idea like what was going on.
Send me this video, like seriously.
They gave me this like huge cup And it's back home. I should have brought it with me. And
Is it like bigger than you, or like was it heavy?
When I was younger, yes. Now, it's probably like this big. It's not massive, but
But for a kid, that's like
yeah.
wow.
It was a big accomplishment. So another thing, a big part of racing is sponsorships. So basically, I was already sponsored by a local team when I had won that. But there's like factory teams and there's trophy teams, there's national teams, there's so many. So factory teams, they have their own like bicycle brand frame. So being on a factory team is a big deal. So I was on a factory team right off the bat, basically. As soon as I won that accomplishment, all the teams, like, I was like a magnet. They all drew to me. They're like, I want you, I want you, I want you. So then,
so you didn't even have to go and ask for sponsorships. They came to you pretty much.
Exactly.
Whoa.
And usually that's how it is. If you see people just wearing like a classic jersey with no like sponsorships on it, then you know they're not on a team. So at like, yeah, usually sponsorships come to you, but the better racers always have the better sponsorships. So again, at my age, I didn't exactly know what that meant. So my dad, I'm sure he probably asked them like, "Oh, what do you have to offer for my daughter?" Right? Because she's so young.
Yeah.
Again, like the older you get and the bigger the sponsorship and the teams, they start paying for your races and paying for your frames and your parts, and they want you to go race in Idaho. They're gonna pay for it. So yeah,
Get their name out there.
Yeah, getting to that level was I had to work really hard for it. Like I was training every single day, not just biking, but doing weightlifting training at a very young age. Like I was going to the gym at probably 11, 12 years old, working with all the boys. So I was the only female. And I had a personal trainer. His name was Curtis. He was awesome. He always pushed me. I was lifting as much as the boys was until they hit their puberty stage and got older, of course. But I was always faster than the boys too, which they didn't like that. And as they started getting older, that's kind of when the bullying started. I got teased really, really bad by them. And it really affected me in the later on years. So that's kind of why I decided to stop. And when I was in grade 10, I decided to switch to online school. The bullying was getting really bad, and it was transferring from the track to school. So I couldn't really show my face there. It was really hard, but I still kept training, and in 2017, I went to World Championships, so I had to qualify like the year or two before that. So again, training super hard to get to that point. And I went to World Championships in South Carolina in the States. I ended up making a month out of the trip. I was there for a whole month just traveling around, and the racing was 4 to 5 days. I raced a bunch of different heats, and I ended up placing 12th in the world, which is insane. So I raced 2 different bikes, and one of the bikes I placed 12th in the world, and the other one I believe I got top 20, and I'm not exact. I think I maybe got 18th in the world on the other one. I'm not sure. But I raced over
probably crazy cool.
300 girls. I raced over 300 girls from over 100 countries for sure. So I got to trade one of my Team Canada jerseys. That's kind of a thing. So you get given 2 Team Canada jerseys. So I had one, and the other one is meant to be traded. So I, got to scope around all the other countries, and there were so many I wanted, but you have to ask people. And because I'm Canadian, we're really nice apparently, so everyone comes to us, right? So I had like 1,000 girls coming up to me every day, like, "Hey, can we trade jerseys?" And it was so hard to say no, because I'm like, "But I don't want yours," right? So yeah, it was sad, but I ended up trading with a girl. Her name's Camille from France, and we still follow each other on Instagram and Snapchat, and we talk to each other once in a while. Yeah, so I have a Team France jersey and a Team Canada jersey back home. I should have brought them. I should pin them up against my wall. I should do that.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but after World Championships, again, the teasing and the bullying was still there. I just couldn't take it any longer, and I figured
How
I'd
do you
made
get bullied,
it
if you don't
pretty
mind me
far.
asking?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, I've been struggling with it for so long. The boys, they're just mean. It was always like body shaming and, like how I look, how I dress, how I ride. Like, I couldn't even go to the track without them all being up on the corner making fun of me. Like, it was so bad. And
That's
my dad is best friends with all of their dads. So he would
um,
never say anything, right? And he did try to, but again, like they're boys, they're mean. That like, right? I
they're
get it.
they're
I
jealous
really
of you.
do.
Like you
They're
could reach like
exactly. I went so far with this sport that like
good
yeah,
for you
it's
to
definitely
continue
a
on,
jealousy
even
thing.
with the bullying. Like seriously, like
Yeah.
it is not hard or easy, and we're
Yep.
always supporting you, like always.
Yeah. So after that, I wanted to get working and make money, so I got my first job at 14 at McDonald's. Absolutely loved it. It was awesome. I'm a total workaholic, right? I love working. I just think it's so fun. So I started doing that, and then my dad started getting me into motorcycles. So
Yeah,
now, yeah, so I've been riding the past couple years now. We got my mom into it as well, so that's awesome.
that's
Um,
so cool.
yeah, and I moved out here, and I didn't bring my bike with me because I drove my car out here, so obviously I couldn't bring my bike. So it's back home. Um, and I actually just bought one in Calgary a couple weeks ago. So it's actually being delivered today. So I'm very excited.
Ooh,
I
that's
know. So it's being delivered today, and I already bought 2 helmets and my leather jacket and my shoes and my pants. I'm all ready to go. So that's been my main thing the past year for sure is motorcycles and cars. Love working on cars too. I feel like I'm turning into all these like
I love it
I'm more
though.
on the
Don't
masculine
stop.
side for sure. Yeah, I love doing all that stuff. It's my total passion. But living here, I live on the staff accommodation for the company I work for, so I can't exactly work on my car and stuff, which kind of sucks. I lifted up my hood one day and to put new windshield washer fluid in, and I had one of the members come up to me and say, "You can't do that. You can't work on your car on property." And I'm like, "Really? I'm pouring liquid
Really?
into a funnel into my car. Like, leave me alone, right?" But no,
And
it's
that's
not
like a
allowed.
special thing, not like you're popping off all the tires and like
I
going in and
know,
taking it apart.
right?
And
Yeah.
but
So,
to have that skill is incredible. Like
yep.
not everyone has that. Like we have to take it to the shop or like it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, my dad's amazing. He taught me everything, so I love that guy. He's awesome.
That is so cool. And
Yeah.
now that you're out here, are you planning to like get right? You said you like teach kids how to ride. You've been like coaching meal plans, which is so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I don't really know how long I plan out to be here for. My original plan is I wanted to move to Calgary. Um, so I'm from Nanaimo. So Nanaimo's population is about 90,000. I don't know what Calgary is, but I know Calgary's a lot bigger. And I always felt that Nanaimo was too small for me. I knew everyone within my age. And now moving to Banff, it's like I
It's
don't
even
really know how to feel. It's a lot smaller, and like COVID makes it a lot harder to meet people and stuff, so I don't really have a lot of friends right now, but
well,
yeah,
I'm yeah,
I
we should
don't
hang
know.
out and hang out after this. Like
Yes, for
seriously.
sure. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what to say about Banff. I've been here like just over a month now, but I don't know how to feel about it. I think COVID
That's
is really
okay.
making it hard to go and do stuff. Like done lots of hiking and just running around town. I'm kind of scared to go on the trails because of the bears. So I go running in the city or in the town. Like I will not go on the trail. I'm too freaked out for that. But yeah, as long as my job is going good, then I'll stay here for sure. I don't have a contract with them, so I want to stay here at least until the end of summer, but I can probably see myself staying longer. My goal is to stay a year, but I'm
Ooh.
not too good with that stuff. If I don't like somewhere, I will leave. So I'm trying to fix
Especially
my
after all the
attitude.
traveling, like that's totally fair. Like you've been everywhere.
I know. So I'm trying to like say no, Allie. You stay here for a year. I know I can do it.
It's so hard. Plus, like weekends, like I know when I like left, I had to travel some weekends just to get that feel of like going somewhere. And like, do you ever
Yep.
have that?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like today and tomorrow are my days off, and yeah, I'm going to Calgary right after this. Yeah, since I moved here, I put on 6,000 kilometers on my car within literally like 3 weeks or a month, which is insane. Not even including the drive here. So I literally have been all over Alberta, which I know I'm not supposed to because of COVID, but I was so bored sitting in this tiny little space with nothing to do, no friends. I didn't have Wi-Fi, so I couldn't hook up my TV. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going. So I literally went
Yeah,
Cold Lake, Edmonton, Spruce Grove, Calgary. Oh my god. I've been everywhere.
that's amazing. And I'm so happy you took advantage of it too, like
Yeah, for
traveling and
sure.
like safety and all that. And for
Yep.
anyone who wants to like get into biking like you, what would you recommend to them as the last question of the day?
I mean, for me, it was just going to the local BMX track. Like everyone was so friendly, like so welcoming. And, they lent me a bike, they lent me a helmet. Most of the local tracks, they don't have tracks in every city, of course, but I think the closest one here is Calgary, and I've been there a million times. And yeah, like every track has like a couple different sizes of bikes, helmets, jerseys, pants, shoes, like all that stuff. Go to your local track. Go talk to someone. If you came up to me, I'd be like, yeah, like, come on over. I got you, right? Everyone's
Yes!
so welcoming. And BMX is such a family-oriented sport. There's no, like, you come to the track by yourself and you sit alone. Like, there's always a team tent you can sit under, or you pop your tire. There'll be a BMX dad that'll change it for you,
Guess
no
what? They're
problem, no
there
matter
for
where
you.
you're from. Yeah. So I always tell people, yeah, go to the track, go talk to anyone. Everyone's so nice. They'll help you out for sure. And like look up BMX YouTube videos, There's so many coaches out there that have, or even like former pro racers that have YouTube channels like how to do this, how to do this, how to do this, right? So you can learn anything online now these days.
It's so true, honestly.
Yeah.
Thank you for technology. And thank you
Yeah.
for coming on the show today. Like, we learned so much from you. And,
Yeah, of
like,
course.
feeling so inspired. And actually, for kids out there that are being bullied just like you, what would you recommend to make things better?
Um, for
Because
me,
it's not easy.
I kind of just kept to myself. Maybe that's not the best thing, but that's what I did. That's what I helped me. I talked to a lot of older racers as well. And that actually really helped me. I reached out to people that I looked up to when I was younger, and now it's like, we're
Wow.
friends. But you never would have thought that when I was like a little
Yeah.
girl. I looked up to these big racers, and yeah, when I was going through that hard time, I reached out to them like through Instagram, because they lived in Abbotsford, so I wasn't there all the time. And yeah, I reached out to them on Instagram, or when I was in Abbotsford, I would talk to them, and they helped me through a lot. They had
Wow.
gone through similar things, so bullying is
That's
such a hard thing.
amazing.
The thing is like you gotta talk to people about it. Like don't keep it in, because it's gonna work its way up, and as you get older, and you're gonna burst into flames. So I always talk to the
That's
older riders, coaches. Even my parents helped a lot. And also, what helped me with that is teaching the kids how to ride. Like instead of having
yeah.
bullying and these stupid boys on my mind all the time, it was, what? Like, who cares? I'm gonna be the better
Yeah.
person. I'm gonna go train these kids because you're sure as hell not going to.
Yeah, like you're gonna do
So
something amazing for the world and something helpful. And I
yeah,
love that how you're getting out there and saying like, "Screw you!" Like I'm gonna go do my own thing. Like that's
yep, exactly.
amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for you. And thanks again for coming on the show. And our time's up. And thank you.
Show Banff Show.
Show Banff Show.
Show Banff Show.
Show Banff Show.
Expanding our community.